post a statue for $1,800. 2 days later, it's $1,600. And by the end of the week, it's $1,000. You probably didn't know what you had. But we know what we have tonight. Look at that fucking segue. By the way, I don't think I can keep up that voice all night. But we have tonight the Stupidest Statue Awards. So if this is your first time, welcome. This is actually our 4th year of doing this. Instead of doing a traditional awards show at the end of the year, we look at some really stupid categories that involve statues, companies, and collectors, and revisit some of the most ridiculous things we've seen all year, and award people and things for being that stupid. Now, if you wanted to tune into a serious countdown, this event is sponsored by the Xtreme channel, which is totally self-funded, so we have to give them some sponsorship time. One thing you want to make sure you do is not only like this video, but subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification. Because in traditional fashion, for the 5th year in a row, the Xtreme channel will be doing end-of-the-year countdowns on a number of events, from coolest custom statues, most anticipated statues of 2025, and more. Last year there were about 9 countdowns. But really quick, make sure you stay tuned in for later this week, where the Xtreme channel has a special Christmas video just for you. Now, enough from our sponsor, let's get to the show. Just like last year, we wanted to come up with a number of new categories. Now, when I say we, I mean it was an entire team who deliberated while I was on the toilet trying to figure out what cool different categories could we do this year. And we wanted to be objective, so we put every single category out to vote and had people vote on the winner. And when I say people, I mean me. I voted on the winner. It was a landslide every time. Not like the landslide we saw on November 5th. Oh, too soon. But I'm very excited to bring you the categories this year. However, before we get into those categories, why don't you throw down in the comments below the stupidest thing you've seen other than this outfit in the statue collecting world in 2024, because we're still doing a giveaway. As we try to grow this channel, we like to reward you guys for watching and subscribing. So because of that, every 5,000 milestone when it comes to subscribers, we give away a couple $1,000s worth of statues. We've actually given away over 20 statues. To win one was easy. First, you gotta be subscribed to the channel. You'll get bell notifications when videos drop. Each video that drops, you want to make a comment on those videos. We pick a random video, we give away statues based on a comment. You can say whatever you want. The more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. So we have over 20 different categories and awards to hand out this year. And the first 2 are actually sponsored by the Xtreme channel. If you're a regular viewer of the channel, there are clearly certain videos you want to see and you don't want to see. Now, the type of videos you did not want to see from the Xtreme channel, but they just kept coming, yes, those were the lightsaber videos. Now, you'll have to forgive Mr. X for a few things. Number one, I don't know why he's talking about himself in the 3rd person, but also, they just keep sending me free lightsabers as long as I'll make a video. Feels very whorish, like the days I used to work back on 2nd and Elm. Now, the second category, kind of related to that, videos you really didn't want to see, but you secretly like. And that is about the freaking awesome Cybertruck. And I'm not saying you like the Cybertruck, I'm saying you like the videos, because people either love it or hate it. And we love to watch things we hate, it's just human nature. I feel like Elon just flashed those lights. Did you see that? Category number 3, the most forgivable statue mistake. What does that mean? Somebody created a statue and there's something that's really, really off, but it's kind of forgivable. Well, that goes to this custom Venom transformation statue. The biggest mistake is Venom is way overscaled to Eddie Brock, but it's really forgivable because if he was too small, you wouldn't be able to see him, so it displays really, really well. So for that, they get my forgiveness. Next category, the ballsiest move by a statue studio. This goes to, we don't give a fuck, Prime One Studio, we're gonna start making statues so fucking big, nobody can afford them or display them. We saw that with their Predator line and their Aliens, their Transformers, their new Cave Troll. They had a board meeting and they said, you know what, we don't know if collectors can display this. And the head honcho goes, do we really give a shit? I imagine they're all smoking cigars in that boardroom with one female. You feel that too? The next award also goes to a statue company. This statue company went all in, realizing that sex sells. Let's face it, the majority of people in this hobby are nerd males who don't get laid a lot. So they said, you know what? let's make some statues so they can get aroused. And they did not disappoint with some of these statues here. And I'm gonna guess that they're gonna keep going, so congratulations to PCS for realizing sex sells to statue nerds. The next award is the biggest destruction of a fantastic statue line. It's fantastic. So what that means is this statue company was making an absolutely amazing statue line. They came out with hit after hit after hit for highly sought after statues. And then they said, you know what would train wreck this faster than anything else? And of course I'm talking about Sideshow and their J. Scott Campbell pieces. They said, let's put in a fucking Cheshire cat that looks like a she-male on top of a log, which really doesn't go with any of the other princesses in the line. So congratulations to Congrats to Sideshow for winning that award. Another award related to our sponsorship. This one we voted out to the public, and the public agreed. What kind of shirt does Mr. X look good in? I mean, I know I look good now, bow tie, black button up, but purple. Chicks dig it. The hottest shirt Mr. X looked in was this purple button-up of the year. I think we all agree on that. Few more sponsorships from the Extreme channel regarding the next two awards. One, the most badass move at a statue convention. Well, this was almost a tie, so we were able to separate second place into a different category we're going to talk about in a little bit. But the first was definitely Mr. X stealing the toilet paper at a high-end steakhouse, because they charged him $600 for the meal, and they just kept those drinks coming. So I know you're wondering, Mr. X, why did you steal the toilet paper? I honestly don't remember doing it, but apparently I took it from the restaurant. And in my opinion, that's a pretty badass move. Now, the most underrated video from the Extreme channel, which if you do not go back and watch this, you are missing out. It's even better than this statue awards, is when Mr. X was stuck alone in the mountain for 7 days. Go out and check out this video. It is a fantastic time. It was one of the funnest videos to make, and it's probably one of the few videos that Mr. X actually re-watches because he just thinks he's fucking hilarious. Our next award goes to a company. It's the company that can't figure out statue scales. So of course I'm talking about Prime One Studios, specifically with their Alien and Predator line. They make quarter scale Predators that are too small. They make quarter scale Predators that are too big. They make third scale Predators that are too big. They make alien statues. Some of them are non-scale, like their king and queen, and then their warrior alien is the same scale, even though it's misscaled because it should be smaller, and then they come out with a quarter scale, and then they have like a quarter scale prowler, and then they come out with a third scale alien dog, but then they come out with a third scale XL alien dog that's twice as big. So congrats to Prime One Studio for not being able to figure out what a scale is when it comes to Predator and Alien statues. Another company award coming up, the most inaccurate ship times. That has to go to our boys, Aunt Adams at PCS. If you want to know when your statue's shipping, who the fuck knows? Their website certainly doesn't. Congratulations on nailing totally false ship time. And for the record, I love what PCS is doing, so a huge portion of my pre-orders are through them. But right now, if you look at the ship times of some of my statues I haven't received, they were supposed to ship months ago. And it still says that proudly on their website. This next award is for a statue. Which statue most closely recognizes Americans? I went back and forth. There's a lot of traits for Americans, and where I live, we don't see this trait very often, but whenever I travel, I seem to, especially when I went to Disney this world. And that is certainly the blob. The fat-ass blob sadly represents a huge portion of the American population. Now, if you got offended by that, eat a Dorito, you'll feel better. And I have a funny story on this. Years and years ago, we were on a beach. My family and I travel a lot. We love to go to the ocean. We love to go to the beach. And with that, there was a very large kid. He was probably 3 years old. Motherfucker probably weighed 150 pounds. And he's sitting there in the sand playing by himself, no parents anywhere near. And my kids start to notice, they're kind of shocked at how big this child is. And we were going to play sand volleyball, and I told my kids we better play soon. This kid is probably eating sand. He's probably going to eat all the sand on the beach. So ever since then, my children have referred to obese people as sand eaters. And I'm sorry, it's fucking hilarious. Next category, a little bit controversial, the most off-ethnic statue. What do you mean by that, Mr. X? Well, this character is supposed to have a specific ethnicity, and they totally blew it. Of course, I'm talking about the Juggernaut Colossus diorama. This is a custom, and apparently Juggernaut is Samoan or Hawaiian, based off the tattoos, which I find absolutely hilarious. I still think it looks incredibly badass. But WTF, Eddie? Another custom statue award, the statue that looks like it has the most cum on it. Yes, I said it. That easily goes to this Kingpin Spider-Man diorama. Is that webbing? Some of it looks like webbing, but some of it's off-colored, so apparently they're just having a fantastic time. I don't know if it's Spider-Man, if it's Peter, or Wilson. That's the party boy, but definitely a statue filled with too much cum. On a side note, there were a lot of runner-ups of female busts that certain collectors have in their collection, and they talk disgusting things about them. Earlier, we talked about the most badass thing to happen at a statue event. This was the runner-up, so we put it in its own category. We said Best Statue Hookup. Well, at StatueCon this year, hosted by Collector Zone, it's kind of in this little nook of a town where there's not much going on. So a large portion of the people, about a dozen of us, actually went to a dive bar. And apparently it's the only thing to do because it's standing room only. Well, we met the greatest lady, probably in her early 50s, mid 50s, who was definitely trying to get laid. And she was hitting on everybody in our party while she bashed her gay son, which kind of tells you the character of her. And for the record, her gay son was in the bar with us. This lady searched and searched, and ultimately she found her man and went home with S7 Customs, one of the best painters in the game. So congratulations on that hookup, Jason. That is definitely the best statue hookup of 2024. This next category was inspired by an infomercial that my children love. And the commercial is for Xiaflex. If you're unfamiliar, Xiaflex is if you have a crooked dick. And they use carrots. It's very visual, and my kids just crack up every time they see it. And it got me thinking, there's some similarities in the statue world. So the most Xiaflex-like statue definitely goes to PCS's Blade statue, because that sword is bent to shit on half of them. I've seen 3 of them in real life, including my own in my collection. Every single time that sword has very carrot-like qualities. So most Xiaflex-like statue goes to PCS's Blade. This next category is most confusing pose. And what I mean by that is they came out with the statue of a character, but they gave the character a different character's pose. And that belongs to none other than this custom Iceman. Why the fuck is he taking off like Iron Man? Seriously? What is going on there? Was that a mold from an Iron Man and they just turned it into an Iceman? It still looks cool, but you can't unsee that. Just like the Xiaflex commercial or S7 Customs making out with that chick. Sorry, elderly lady. The statue that's gonna break display stands. So specifically this goes to weight. And this is kind of a no-brainer. I actually posted a video on TikTok that had like 1 million views of XM Studios Maestro, however you say it, statue. And with that, I did write that it weighs 300 pounds. That's the weight on the website, that's the weight on the boxes. And everyone says I'm a liar. It's like, yeah, because that's something I would lie about. But the statue to break most display stands due to weight clearly goes to Maestro from XM Studios, which is an amazing statue. Next is a Statue Company Award winner, and this goes to a company that ripped off a concept from another company. And with that, it's an amazing concept. I think both the original and the copy. We go to Prime One Studios' recent reveal of their Berserk diorama. This looks vaguely familiar to this piece from PCS, this Carnage diorama as well. Clearly an amazing concept that the makers at PCS came up with, and hold on to that because this is going to be part of the next category. But so the biggest concept ripoff definitely goes to Prime One Studio. And that Carnage statue is actually the winner of the next award. That is the most underpriced statue realization. What do you mean by that, Mr. X? Well, PCS came up with that Carnage piece. And I have it on order. I'm really excited about it. I think it's absolutely amazing. It's from one of my favorite storylines. And it's just a cool, different, amazing concept. And nobody knew how much it was going to cost. They put it up for $1,500 and everyone's like, that's not too bad. I'm going to grab it. And not only did everybody grab it, but then PCS continued with it. They're like, you know what? We're going to continue with this line, with this concept. So the next piece they came out with was the Hulk, Planet Hulk. Very similar concept. And they said, you know what? This is about the same size, a little bit bigger. Let's double the price. Still a Marvel license, but let's double the price. And then They thought, you know what, that PCS Carnage was so popular, let's make it in bronze, and instead of being $1,500, let's times the price by 10 and make it $15,000. And some of us can relate to PCS. Probably what happened was that original Carnage went up and they got more pre-orders than they expected. It's kind of like when you post a statue for sale and it sells in 5 minutes and 10 other people contact you. You're like, shit, I priced that too low. Team at PCS, congratulations on the award, but I feel ya. The regret that you priced it too low. And our last category also goes to a statue company. This goes to the most non-humble statue company. Some people could say cocky, but that is clearly J&D. J&D makes some great stuff. Sometimes they have a hit, sometimes they have a miss. But what I love is whenever they have a miss, they'll come out with a video and tell everybody why they're wrong. And when I say they, I don't mean J&D saying they are wrong. I mean why you collectors are wrong. Because everything they make is fucking gold, apparently. So that concludes our Stupidest Statue Award show of 2024. Every year I want to do this bigger, and I always want to do something where you are more involved, but frankly it's just such a busy time of the year. So for now, I appreciate you watching. Please give a like. If you haven't subscribed and you want to see a lot of those statues, they will be on this table this year. Do that. If not, just comment below what the stupidest thing was. And it's probably something I did, so gloves are off. I don't have a heart anyway. Go ahead and throw that down in the comments below. But for now, sit back, enjoy Christmas week if that's when you're watching. I really appreciate you. I appreciate all the statue companies and creators of these statues being a good sport. Because it's all a joke. Statue collecting is a joke, trust me.